Time now for your forewarned weather with Cedric Haynes.
All right, we had a lot of dark clouds out in the sky, not only for southern Utah yesterday, but even across central and northern portions of the state. We saw more scenes like this here with these dark clouds. Some of those clouds producing some heavy downpours, not so much in Payson here, but thanks to Arwen for sharing this beautiful shot with us. Now, Cannon Secrets down in southern Utah did see some good rain and some heavier downpours showing up there, and you can see a little bit of ponding on the roadways, along with some gusty winds with some of those showers and thunder showers rolling through that part of the state. Now, outside ABC4 right now, we're looking at quiet conditions to kick off the day. We've got some scattered clouds, a beautiful sunrise, though, just underneath those clouds there in the distance. Temperature outside the studios here at about 60 degrees or so, but as we take a look at some of the numbers across the rest of the area, not too bad. We've got pretty uniform temperatures in the 50s, close to 60, and many spots. We got a couple of 40s as you get over towards the Wasatch Pack and for our friends over into the Uintas this morning, but low 50s up towards Cache Valley. Now, let's talk about the weather map because we're starting things off on a quiet note out there. Not much to way of precipitation to track for you here, but we do have some areas of scattered clouds rolling on through the states, and some of these clouds are trying to squeeze out a little moisture. So you don't rule out a sprinkle or two across the northern half of the state this morning and also across the southern half of the state. But overall, I think the better rain chances will once again develop after lunchtime this afternoon. As we look at the weather map, we've got a weak disturbance that's making its way across the northern half of the state. This is what may squeeze out a sprinkle or two as we go throughout this afternoon. Otherwise, we're watching that low pressure down to the south and west, and that's what's beginning to pull up more moisture here for us. So as we go throughout today, we'll continue with this unsettled weather pattern with that chance of scattered showers and thunderstorms developing, particularly with the daytime heating. So let's time it out for you here with Futurecast, as you'll be able to see here as we go throughout today. Again, this morning, we could see a spotty shower moving across the northern half of the state, but not expecting a ton out of that. But with some daytime heating after lunchtime, I do think we cook up some decent scattered showers and downpours. Look at that. We've got one showing up at least on Futurecast right over Nephi as we get towards about 1 o'clock this afternoon. Another one just to the north of Price and stretching up towards Duchesne as well. So we'll keep an eye on that. Some of these, of course, could produce some heavy downpours, some flash flooding potential, especially as they shift down towards the I-70 corridor and basically kind of stall out and start going from north to south. They start going from west to east, and that can mean some training and that potential of flash flooding. Now, that'll fade out overnight tonight, and then as we go into the weekend, most of us are dry. Notice a pop-up shower possible across southwest Utah both Saturday afternoon and Sunday afternoon, but most of the state will be on the dry side as dry air builds in with high pressure upstairs. Upper 70s to low 80s across the north will be in the 70s and 80s across central sections of the state. As you get down towards Washington County, that's where you could tap out into the low 90s as we go throughout this afternoon. An isolated storm or two again for us as we go throughout today, but those rain chances really drop off heading into the weekend as this big ridge of high pressure builds in aloft or upstairs in the atmosphere, and as it gets stronger, we get drier, we also get hotter. So take a look at this. We're talking 80s turning to about the low 90s over the weekend here in the Wasatch Front, but St. George, a mixture of sun and clouds. It will still get hotter, though, as we just have a slight chance of a pop-up storm with those temperatures climbing into the upper 90s. But don't you worry. The triple digits are not too far away. How about Monday into Wednesday of next week? We're talking temperatures above 100 degrees. Meanwhile, the Wasatch Front, we're talking temperatures going from the low 80s today into the low to mid 90s as we head towards the beginning of next week.